Frag Tag Radio. Frag Tag Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, baby, for another episode of a Frag Tag Radio. And here with you today are your boys, Radius.
And J to the Ray.
Matter of fact.
And Steve O.
Alright, so first, of course, we got to get them plugs out there. J-Ray knows them all. I guess first would be World of Video Game News. That is on Android. Got
Destroidy.
Yep, great app. Tons of sources on there. And you got Game RSS, the Advanced and the Lite.
Black Air Studios.
Yep, that's another great app. Download that on Android as well. And then, of course, Xbox One News and Xbox Game News, both also on Android.
Xbox One News is by Hoex Software. Xbox Game News is by RuXXL.
That's right. That is right. And then, of course, don't forget Game on Windows Phone, soon to be on iOS.
Underground Studios.
That is right. And then, of course, soon to be on Appy Gamer soon, sometime around the 7th.
Yep, should be within the next week. So,
looking forward to that. Tons of great apps. Make sure to check out them all. And with that, of course, hit us up on the website, fragtagradio.com, and on Twitter, @fragtagradio.
or send us a text or voicemail.
And 304-TALK-FTR. And most importantly, hit us up on the YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Frag Tag Radio. Just search, we'll come right up. Subscribe to the channel.
All of them delicious.
That's right.
Comment on the articles.
Comment on the videos.
That's right.
Comment on the episodes.
Everything.
Just drop some comments.
Just go to Frag Tag Radio and comment, damn it.
There you go. There you go. If that didn't convince anybody, I don't know what won't. All right. So, first thing, most importantly is, I think everybody can agree, the Xbox One Doritos and Mountain Dew are here. And if that is not top news, I really don't know what is. They're giving away an Xbox One every 2 minutes. You can buy Mountain Dew Doritos branded with the Xbox One Game Fuel logos at participating retailers, and you will get a certain number of points based on if you get the small bottle, a big bottle, a 12-pack, 24-pack, small bag of Doritos, big bag of Doritos. You get points based on how big your purchase is, and then you can put those points together to bid on a possible chance to get an Xbox One. And supposedly they're giving away one every 2 minutes. So
That sounds like, to me, a great excuse to throw a party. Be like, man, why do you have a lot of Doritos and Mountain Dew? Take up! It's all for you guys. All free. Just don't throw anything away so I can...
Put the caps in this bowl over here.
Caps, everything.
You can also, every time you enter a code, you get one, you can use that entry into the drawings.
Woo.
So
Not a joke.
So that's when they're giving the Xbox Ones away every 2 minutes through the drawings. And then you can bid on additional Xbox Ones and stuff, and shirts and all that stuff.
Good.
Spectacular. All right, and with that, usually we start off with small news and work our way down to the bigger stuff. But this one's actually pretty big. And I just wanted to throw it out there because I thought it was bullcrap that they will be charging $15 a month to play Elder Scrolls Online when it launches for Xbox One, PS4, and PC.
It's hurtful.
Now, making our way around the table. Now, currently, there's only one of us that pays a subscription fee for an MMO, and that would be Steve-O. How do you feel about paying $15 for Elder Scrolls Online?
Well, to be honest with you, if it's a game that you're going to stick with, if it's a game that you love, there's multiple factors for why people pay a subscription for something. It's no different than a person that goes out and saves their money and buys car parts. If it's something that you truly love, then I think it's something that's worth it. for something that, for me, in my case, that has me sit down, not think about buying anything else, saving some money, $15 is a great way to help you in that situation where you're doing something that you enjoy, and potentially you're saving yourself some money too, because it's got your attention. The only thing that I will point out is that for the younger audiences, don't use this as an excuse to get out of your chores or anything else, because
Don't you do it.
you don't want that Xbox One taken away or nothing like that, and that 15-month subscription will be going out the window. So just letting you know, just go ahead and get your things done and then settle on down.
Right. And you get down with Warcraft, but how do you feel about paying for Elder Scrolls specifically? Are you a big fan? Would you pay $15?
Because it's that medieval type setting, I probably would. I
Probably
would
get down with it?
I've taken as everybody knows that has heard me on the radio before, that I have an on and off moments. Sometimes I play a lot of Xbox, then I turn that off and I play a lot of WoW. Right now I'm turning WoW off and going back to Xbox. So
Sometimes drop both and just watch animes for a couple months.
You know it, bro.
That's true.
Gotta get my Japanese feel, even though Anyway, so but yeah, I think it'd be worth it definitely for the diehards. Those who enjoy that type of environment, scenery, and things like that of knights and magic. But for those that only play it on the occasion, or if you may be really busy and you only have small time for certain things, then I don't think it would be worth it. For those who have a short span of time to play, either because you have kids or intense work schedule, something that's quicker like Call of Duty or something like that, I could totally understand you not purchasing the $15 a month for, but that's my take.
All right, out of the four of us, the other one who I gathered would probably pay a subscription fee for it would be J. Ray. How are you feeling?
Well, I don't like it, obviously, but I mean,
Would have rather it would have been free.
I'm not the type of person that's going to play this game for months and months on end anyway, so I'll take the 30 days they give you and try to play it as much like Skyrim as I can. And then if I enjoy it, I'll play another month. And then, I mean, the only other real successful MMO that's been on consoles is DC Universe, and it started out the exact same thing. Pay $60 for the game, have a $15 subscription. And it did well, but not well enough to keep that model, so they had to take it and go free to play eventually. So, I imagine that Elder Scrolls will do that eventually too. And I hope to not pay more than $15 itself, because that'll give me 60 days to play as much of it as I can. I beat the main story quest. I've never been the type of person that's going to go on raids and stuff after I max my level out anyway. So, I'm going to be playing it, for the main storyline. So I figure it'll probably cost me $75 to play the game, and that'll give me 2 months. And if I do end up playing it more than that, then maybe I'll stick with the subscription. But
And then another question I would have is, how would that affect the resale value of the game?
you cannot trade them in.
Yeah.
You could not trade in DC Universe either. No subscription-based games can be traded in.
It's like Final Fantasy, was it 11?
Yeah, so
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Couldn't trade that.
pretty much you're making a permanent investment there.
Yeah.
But aside.
Now, matter of fact, I don't know, did you even play a lot of Skyrim? Or
I did, yeah, but I don't know. There's still a lot of questions about this. Like, I guess if you buy it and you don't have to pay the monthly subscription, what do you just lock to a certain confined world then, or
my guess is you can't play at all.
Yeah.
You won't
See,
be
that's the
playing
thing.
at all.
Like,
Yeah, that's pretty much the way that it works.
So
is that when you log in, they'll probably give you a username and a password,
yeah.
and if you don't, if your time's expired, it'll pull up a window saying
Yeah.
you need more game time. Please go out and purchase.
Yeah, see,
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that. I'd probably pay, the 30-day trial. And if I liked it, maybe get the $15 a month.
And then another question is, like, if I'm subscribing to it and then I play it for a while and I let my subscription drop, then would my character still be there if I decided to pick it back up a
Yeah.
couple months later?
I would hope
or-
so. That's the way
Yeah.
DC Universe works.
Yeah,
I mean,
WoW's
it's
the
attached
same
to your
way.
login.
Yeah, I mean, I was a long time since at one point where I didn't play for almost a year or so, and I came back and they were still there. But there are some places that if you're non-existent for anywhere, say anywhere from 30 days to a year, it depends on the company, I guess, and how big their servers are and things to hold that information.
Yeah.
It will be if they have to make room, but if it ends up hitting off big and they put some money into it, then you're not going to lose your character.
And if
That's
you buy it,
that's good to know.
you buy it, you beat the main storyline, you don't continue your subscription, either hold it until free-to-play model comes or sell it on Craigslist. That's what I did with DC
Well,
Universe.
my reason for asking that question was because if I was to do it, I'm still kind of undecided. But if I was, then I would pay, long enough to play what I needed to play, and then probably cancel. But then, of course, later on, they probably have some sort of expansion come out.
Yeah.
So I would probably want to pick it back up at that time and then continue on. So I would
I
just
imagine it probably
would want my character to still be there as it was previously.
I imagine that a lot of people would probably do that. They'd probably take that into account.
And they are going to have a beta for Elder Scrolls Online for Xbox One, PS4, and PC. So you can sign up for that on Bethesda's website. I think they actually have a website set up specifically for Elder Scrolls Online where you can do that. So if that interests you, then feel free to sign up for the beta. I would suggest doing it sooner rather than later because the people who sign up first are probably going to be the ones who get in. All right, and with that, moving on to some Xbox One news. External storage will not be supported at launch. They're going to patch it in a little bit later. So, it is what it is. And me and Jay were talking about this in the car, and he was wondering, why they aren't going to have this ready at launch. And my guess is they originally had planned to have it ready at launch, but then after the DRM fiasco and having to reverse on some certain policies, now they've had to probably, kind of move a lot of resources over to getting those things right for launch, which probably put some of the other smaller features on the back burner.
It just seems weird because you have to install every single game. And although I do that anyway, I delete those games when I finish playing them. And then if I want to go back and play it after that, I just play it without installing it. If I had to install every game that I owned, especially when I'm going to get a lot of games when these come out, it's going to be eating through some hard drive space. And these are next-gen titles, which are bound to take up more space than what we're already used to.
But your average current-gen title is 5 to 8 gigs,
Yeah.
so my guess is these will be 10 or more.
I know.
Yeah.
And man, I mean, yeah, you do get 500 gigs, which is, in some, compared to last gen, a lot. But just hope they patch this in sooner rather than later because... I just already can feel that hard drive space is going to be an issue.
Well, I mean, it's already math right there. If we're assuming that next gen game will be about 10 gigs, it's going to take about 50 games for you to fill up the hard drive, and that's not including if you have arcade or back
DLC
or
the
anything
operating
else.
system, any of your
takes up a
apps,
big
any
Yeah,
of the
because
movies.
it's not. Yeah, because even though they'll say it's 500 gigs, like you were saying, J. Ray, you have to automatically assume that they've already dedicated X amount of space for operation purposes. So you're probably looking at maybe 450.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
and then, like I said, all the apps I have a ton of apps on my system. Your profile, just everything. It's
It ends
gonna,
up.
it's gonna add up.
Now, that's another thing.
Music.
I was kind of under the impression that rather than downloading apps separately, that things like Netflix and the cable features were just going to be built into the operating system. They wouldn't be something you would have to download separately. But that remains to be seen. So
it would make sense. I mean, they've kind of got that feature with the smart TVs now, where it's all built in already. So,
But even my smart TV, you have to download individual apps.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're not very smart TVs. The processors inside them things I'm imagining are just powerful enough to run Netflix.
Well, the problem with that
not
is
much more.
if you build all those apps into the system, then the people that are never using them are forced to take up even more hard drive space, Whereas at least if you download individually, if I don't want this app, it's not taking up space on the hard drive,
True. And then, of course, it's also worth noting that you can store all your stuff in the cloud now, too.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
So,
It'll probably
That'll
stick
help.
with the basics though, like Hulu and Netflix and things like that. The basics will be put on there, which I would assume that those are going to be like, you know how how you get a cellular phone and there's apps on there that you just can't delete. It'll probably be one of those type of things. I would assume.
Skype will without a doubt be built into it.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
that won't be a separate app.
But like, I don't think I know anyone who doesn't have a Netflix account. I would imagine that being in there would be a given, or maybe they could have it in there with the option to delete it if you don't want it. See, moving on. They just showed off a white-colored Xbox One that is being given away to Microsoft employees. A lot of people were asking Major Nelson, "Hey, are we going to be able to see this for purchase in the future?" And Major Nelson said, "I could see it happening, but that'd probably be way in the future." So.
Couple redesigns later.
Yeah, so it'll probably be available eventually. I wouldn't look for it anytime soon, so I wouldn't go holding out for that white one or anything, Yeah. But could happen. All right, and then Killer Instinct Season 2 planned for 2014. Obviously, we'll get the Season 1 characters this year at launch. Yeah. Well, 6 of them, with the other 2 coming shortly after. And then next year, the second season of characters, which I imagine would be another 6 to 8 characters. And, I mean, we've talked about Killer Instinct a lot already. Yeah. I really, really hope that Spinal is in there for Season 1.
If not first season, it's definitely second season.
He better be in there for first season. I mean, Spinal has been in every Killer Instinct.
I know.
Killer Instinct 1, Killer Instinct 2, Killer Instinct Gold. He was there for all of them. Not having him there for this one would be cardinal sin, if you ask me.
They'll have him in there. It wouldn't be a mistake unless they had the core characters back. You know what I mean?
And then, well, that'll probably be the first thing we play on launch night. We'll be getting down, streaming our first Frag Tag tournament onto Twitch.
Oh yeah.
Which I still need to set up our Frag Tag account on that, so we can start streaming our matches. But
it's gonna be delicious.
Rest assured, it will be ready in time.
And YouTube will be flooding it. Woo!
Hell yeah, we'll be streaming.
Don't be laughing at my horrible skills now.
As long as you're having fun.
Trying to get down on some Call of Duty. Like, come on, Steve-O, you didn't see that guy? Like I was acting last night. You can't shoot me through the wall. Look at the replay. Had a clear
which
shot.
Which game are you thinking I'm playing first at launch? Out of the ones that you're getting.
I know I'm playing the Rome one. Ryse. I think that Nikes is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, the way that they were showing, like, the dudes, he's all like, all right, let's go. And, like, the rest of the guys that were still on the beach sat there and threw up their shields and blocked all those arrows, and then they marched up and then threw up the shields again to block the incoming arrow. That was just so friggin' amazing. That was on point. I'm, like, stoked for that. I don't know, Pete, you're all over the place, so it's gonna be tough. I think if they add your character to Killer Instinct, you're gonna turn that thing on, you'll see your character, and you'll play it. If not, you're going to be like, not even play the first game within the first 15 minutes. You'll have 2 smoke breaks.
Screw this! I'm downloading Loco Cycle,
which looks awesome.
It does. Not to put down Loco Cycle, it's looking good. All right, J. Ray, you said you were playing what at first at launch? Watch Dogs, Assassin's Creed,
maybe Watch Dogs. Probably that's probably
your number one,
most likely.
What was it Dead Rising 3?
Dead Rising 3.
Isn't that the one that you can help out through the
smart glass?
Glass?
I'm gonna give that one a shot.
Now,
and if I like it, then I might play that one first.
Now, is that just like a 2-person help deal, or can it be 3 people? I can't remember because I know that they said you could have 1 person playing and another person from either a tablet or the phone.
Right. Well, I think you can actually co-op in the game itself, also, and have someone helping through. So it could be 3 to 4 player co-op on that.
That'd be pretty awesome.
I'm not even really clear on that because I remember when they first announced it, people were saying that it was like a mini MMO. Like there was like a lot of people that they could be playing, or you could run into other people that you know in your friends list while you're playing. So I'm not
sick.
Yeah,
because then that would put it pretty high in my standard. Then, if that was the case,
The game that I just was looking into lately, it looks pretty damn tight is Dying Light.
Yeah,
That game looks sick.
it does. I'm also looking forward to that game from the original creator of Resident Evil. The Evil Within is what it's called.
Yep.
That game is looking pretty dope.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
Lots of awesome next gen games, but I don't think those are going to be available at launch, are they?
No. Dying Light's early 2014.
Yeah, so those will be next year. I'm pretty sure Evil Within's the same way.
Yeah. I can't wait for Metal Gear Solid, The Witcher 3, Dragon Age,
Titanfall,
There's a bunch of them, man.
too many to name. All right, bada boom. So Microsoft considering allowing users to resell digital games. Now I know they've been talking about kind of doing this on Steam already on PC.
Yeah.
I know there's been a lot of talk about it. So, but I think having that option would be a good thing.
I think it would be.
But my question is, how would it work? Like, would there be like some sort of auction house built into the Xbox almost, where you could like post your game up and then someone could buy it from there?
Yeah, it might be
Or
like
would
that.
you have to sell it to somebody you know from your friends list? Or
It might be like that.
could I like
Set up
make a post on eBay, be like, yo, got this digital copy of Dead Rising 3?
My guess is how it would work is they would keep track of how many games were turned in, and they could sell that amount of games at a discounted or at a discounted rate without, the DLC or whatever. For instance, if 25 people traded in Dead Rising 3, they would get a discount online towards their next purchase digitally.
Oh, I see.
And then 25 people could buy
I see.
a used copy
Yeah.
of Dead Rising at a cheaper rate. And
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I would like that.
Would be bad at all. All right. XCOM Enemy Within launching in November. So they just talked about this recently. They said this is not a follow-up chapter that extends the story. Instead, it's the same alien invasion you confronted in XCOM Enemy Unknown, but with a lot of new stuff added. So it almost sounds like this is going to be like an expansion for XCOM Enemy Unknown. It's bringing 8 new maps, which will bring the game's total to 13 maps altogether. They're also bringing in new weapons, equipment, and lots of new enemy types. One of them is called the Mechtoid. A new feature called Offline Squad Editing will be introduced with the Enemy Within. This is a feature that a lot of fans of the game were requesting, so they eventually said, all right, so we're just going to go ahead and add that in there now. On top of that, they're packing in some new strategic resources. One's called Meld, which works differently than other resources in the game. No real word on exactly how, but it is what it is. And that'll be launching on November 12th for Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PC. You can buy the game regularly at retail, or you can buy it as a $30 expansion online. Boom. And here's one for J-Ray. BioWare details save and port options for Dragon Age Inquisition. What you know about it, J-Ray? I need you to pick up that outline and give it the game, bro.
I thought you were going to keep on going, baby. Yep, they're just going to... You're not going to be able to import your saves. You're going to use a system called Dragon Age Keep, and it's going to be very, very similar to the... I forgot what the name of it was for Mass Effect. When they first released Mass Effect on PlayStation 4, you could use that comic and make your choices there. This will be somewhat similar to that, although you're going to be able to pick the choices from both of the first 2 games, Origins and 2, and you're going to be able to play around with it. It's not going to be just a set comic where you pick one choice and you're stuck with it. You'll be able to pick it, then unpick it, see how it affects everything. You can go back and start from scratch again and then pick it. And then once you're satisfied with all your decisions, you can just hit save and it'll attach to your account.
Nice. So this is going to be like a traditional importing of saves. This is going to be sort of like the Genesis thing for Mass Effect.
Right.
But I'll be giving you the option to pick and unpick options.
That's right. That's what I said.
Awesome.
Genesis. That was the name of it. I couldn't think of the name of it. And there was another one for Mass Effect 2. Yeah.
I think that was just called Genesis 2. Or
No,
something.
that one was... It was... There was Genesis and then... I could sit here and think of...
Digital Comic number 2.
Digital Comic number 2. That was the name of it.
Yeah. All right. Microsoft announces Forza Rewards. This is going to, I guess, give some perks to people who load up Forza 5 who have played previous Forzas, like Forza 4 and Forza Horizon.
I just wanted to say real quick, you can sign up for the beta for Dragon Age Keep if you'd like to.
That's on BioWare's website.
BioWare's website, right. So,
boom. Sign up now, baby.
yep,
You
go ahead.
test
and
out
do it.
those save features.
Just test them out.
Test them out. But yeah, so if you played Forza 4 or Forza Horizon, this will give you new cars, in-game credits, tokens, and other stuff for Forza 5 when you boot it up, which I think is pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
I don't have any save files for Forza 4, but I do have Forza Horizon, so I'm interested to see like what sort of little bonuses I'll get when I first load up the game.
More cars.
I imagine I'd get a good amount of bonuses. I didn't
You
play
should,
Forza
because-
Horizon a lot, but I played Forza 4 a lot.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And I played Forza Horizon enough to get, 5, 6 achievements, so,
5 or 6. Respectable amount.
I mean, hey, it should be able to read a save file is my
Yeah.
point,
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Like, is it going to read save files, or will it read, or will it base it off of your
What you've
achievements?
done,
Yeah.
It'll probably read that you've played the game and that you had a profile in that game. And if you had a profile in that game, then it'll know you played it. That's because that's what happened on Forza Horizons. When I turned it on, it knew I played Forza 4 immediately.
Right.
And
Did you get extra stuff for
yeah,
that?
you got like I don't even remember what it was now.
A couple cars?
Yeah, you know how they are with their cars.
You know how they are.
Mhm.
Boom, boom. Xbox Live Marketplace has been rebranded to the Xbox Game Store. This will go right along with the Xbox Music Store and the Xbox Video Store.
Happy little family.
Yeah,
So,
it'd be nice if they could get one of those on that Windows 8 phones.
I know you would enjoy
They got
that.
the other two. Why the hell don't they have the third one?
Xbox Video.
Yeah, it's retarded.
He's been waiting for that Xbox Video on that Windows phone.
Well, I have like 100 movies on Xbox Video, and the reason I got that damn phone was so I could have those movies on my phone.
I know.
And I was told that they would be on that phone.
Lying ass Verizon employees.
And then I got that phone, and guess what wasn't on that phone?
You're missing 100 movies right
Well,
now.
did you get her number then? At least did you get something?
I bitched.
I think it was a dude who sold him that phone.
It was a dude. It was on there.
We don't want to get that number.
No. Knowing J Ray though, he went straight for the female. I was like, hey.
They had a
And
bunch
then
of
she was like, hey.
there was
let
a
me
bunch
tell
of
you
Mexican
this.
people working in there at the time. It was
Respectable.
they just do anything they can to sell a phone.
Yeah. Hey, go over here and take a look at this Windows phone, amigo. Got Xbox Video on this jank for you. Just don't look at the phone until you get out the store, though. Boom. All right. Xbox One can download content while you're not home. Now we've been doing this on 360, forever, as we were saying before the show. So it's not really news to us, but anybody who hasn't had the benefit of that feature, you'll be able to have that.
Somebody out there right now is going, yes.
So glad. I was hoping someone would do something like that eventually. Well, it's been here forever. All right, and the free games are up for this month. Magic 2013 is up for free right now. I actually held out, didn't download that, so I actually got a game for free.
Yeah, me too.
Every other game they've come out with so far, I already had, but here comes this one, and I didn't download it.
And then they're giving you that brand new Rainbow Six Vegas.
Not
Can you
right-
give me Rainbow Six Vegas 2?
Yeah, not Vegas 2, Vegas 1, baby.
You gotta be kidding me with this bullshit.
Get all the bargain.
At least I get Magic 2013 though. That's the one that I don't have.
That's fun.
That isn't over 10 years old.
It's just 2 years old. But yeah, I actually loaded it up. I mean, I have 2014, but I loaded up 2013 and played it anyway, just to grab a
damn
couple
it.
of achievements.
I do have Magic 2013. It's 2014 I don't have.
Oh.
No. Congratulations, you're back to being useless.
Oh man, but yeah, it didn't take me long to get 3 achievements. I just loaded it up. I got an achievement for going into the deck editor. Boom, achievement. and then hit up, play a match against the computer and campaign, 2 achievements. Boop, boop, same time.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I played enough.
Seems to me like gamers in Africa would receive Shadowrun instead.
Yeah, instead, which I think is a better offering
Me too.
than Vegas. Because
I think it's a better offer than Vegas and Magic 2013 together.
a lot of people, I mean, don't get me wrong, Shadowrun's an old game, but not, it's a great game that not a lot of people bought.
Right.
True.
It's a diamond in the rough type of game, where just about everybody had Rainbow Six Vegas.
Yeah.
And Rainbow Six Vegas 2.
Right.
And Rainbow Six Vegas 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13,
Come on
14,
now.
and 15.
You know they haven't had any more than 2.
They've
100.
had 16 by now. We're on Rainbow Six Vegas
We are waiting.
18.
We are waiting on Rainbow Six Patriots.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
I'm joking. God grief. I don't know of any games that are on number 15.
Final Fantasy, bro.
They are that. Yeah, that's a good one.
Madden 25, homie.
Yeah, man.
Madden's
25.
past that.
Yeah.
Madden is past that. Madden is an annual sports title, though. They don't count.
Final Fantasy, then.
That was a good one. I'll give you that one.
Okay.
All right, Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2 coming February 2014. This game's been a long time in the making. I mean, the game came out in 2010, so it's been over 3 years.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's going to be quality then. If they took this much time to do it.
Should be the first one was quality.
I like the
It was, and then so I was almost thinking it wouldn't take them that long to get the second one done because they had done the first one. The foundation was there.
Yeah.
You know why else I like the first one is because they came out with 3 good story-based DLCs for it, and that made me happy.
I know how you love your story-based DLCs. Hopefully they'll do the same thing for the second one.
Yeah, well, this one picks up right
off.
where
Headshot.
This one picks up right where the final DLC for Lords of Shadow ended, which is kind of interesting. If you played those DLCs, you'll know that he essentially, spoiler alert, becomes Dracula. So.
Yeah, I remember that. Definitely. So that's going to be interesting. Takedown headed to Xbox Live Arcade and Steam on September 20th. It's called Takedown Red Saber. This is like it's a 6-player cooperative shooter game. So it almost looked like some Rainbow Six type of ish, but not.
So we'll be getting that with games with gold in about 10.5 years. Can't wait.
Well, this is going to retail for $15. Let's see. It was actually going to be a Kickstarter game originally, and then it found a publishing partner, which turned out to be 505 Games this past February, which gave it the opportunity to now make its way to consoles along with PC. Like I said, it's a tactical first-person shooter. It's a spiritual successor to the original Rainbow Six Vegas and SWAT 4. Going to feature 6-player cooperative and 12-player competitive multiplayer modes, as well as mod support for people who are playing on PC.
That's
Cool.
Boom. And then Dustforce coming to Xbox 360, PS3, and Vita. This was actually just announced at PAX Prime this past weekend. Originally announced for PS3 and Vita, and then I think Capcom confirmed later it would also be on 360. So this is a 2D platformer, so I don't really know a lot about it.
yeah, I haven't heard much about it either.
The art style was very colorful, interesting looking from what I saw, but other than that, yeah, I really don't know a lot about it. So, but it will be coming. And with that, Borderlands 2 Game of the Year Edition.
That's actually a good deal.
Yeah,
Good thing I held out.
you'll be getting all the DLC that's come out: the Creature Slaughter Dome, Psycho Pack, Captain Scarlet and her Pirate Booty, Sir Hammerlock's Big Game Hunt, Mr. Torg's Campaign of Carnage, Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon's Keep, the Ultimate Vault Hunter Upgrade, and the Necromancer Pack. So,
And with that, all of the level cap upgrades.
that's right. That's right. And I know, even though Death from Above already has Borderlands 2, he'll probably buy this anyway just to show his support. You know? Just to show his support for Borderlands. Go out and buy another copy of the game. Get that Game of the Year edition. And if it's anything like the first Borderlands Game of the Year edition, they'll even have a little poster in there.
Oh.
Yeah. I remember getting that poster with my Borderlands Game of the Year edition.
Did that make you happy?
It did. It did. I actually hung that jank right up in Solomon's room. It's on the wall right now.
All right.
Looking
See,
pimp.
that's the best thing about having a kid. You sit there,
all
and you
the
got,
posters
here
you
you go,
get, hang
son.
up.
You can have my poster, and then whenever you want to, you can go into his or her room and go, yeah. The missus won't let me have this in my room, but I can put it in yours.
I hang up anything I want. My room.
My house.
I got all sorts of crazy things hanging on my wall. Ba-da-boom. All right, so Diablo 3, Reaper of Souls expansion announced. It's definitely coming for PC. They haven't confirmed it for consoles yet, but I mean,
The hard part's out of the way.
yeah, Diablo 3 is just launching on consoles.
I was watching the Diablo 3 IGN Live where they played.
I watched the same thing.
Yeah, I love the little roll that they added.
Yeah. I also thought it was cool how they added the little thing that's around your character with a little arrow pointing forward, so you know the direction your character is pointing in.
That's cool.
Since you're doing it with the controller rather than the mouse,
And
that
if you're
helps out a
playing
lot.
couch co-op, local co-op, and then you can go through your inventory and quickly look at your newest pickups and stuff without hitting pause. And did you see how it came right under the character? How he kind of pulled up the last 3 or 4 things he picked up, and you could just drop him stuff right there. And they minimized all the garbage loot.
Yeah, which is good.
That's good.
No one likes garbage loot.
So
It's not even worth selling to the vendors.
I am looking forward to this. And I hope Reaper of Souls comes to it too.
Me too. Well, we will be getting down this week.
Yes, we will.
Talking about it next episode. All right, Ryse, Son of Rome may include some micro-type transactions, sort of like what you saw in Mass Effect 3 or FIFA with the Ultimate Team Pack type of deal, or Dead Space 3, those type of things, where you can get everything by playing the game, but if you're the type of person who's impatient and you want to level up faster than everybody else, and you've got endless amounts of cash to waste, just
go ahead.
throw a couple $100 at the game and you're instantly better than everybody else you know.
There it is.
And with that, moving on, Rockstar details Grand Theft Auto 5 Collector's Edition digital content. You got the $150 Collector's Edition, which is the one I'm not getting. Comes with a hat, a security deposit bag, a blueprint map. Boom. That's just the physical stuff. You also get the digital things, which is customizing characters.
Caliber gun, right?
Yeah. Also clothing bonuses, which I don't know what clothes those are. Let's see. You also get some unique abilities for each character. Franklin is a skilled driver who can slow down time. The bonus content that comes with the special edition,
that meter goes up 25%
faster.
And you also get a 20% discount from all the stores, I think.
Yes, you do in the game. So if you go to buy some new pimped out clothes for your character, you get that 20% discount. Rockstar is also including custom characters for Grand Theft Auto Online in the Collector's Edition only. So that's not in the special edition. That's only in the Collector's Edition. Those characters include Grand Theft Auto 4's Nico Bellic and characters from Grand Theft Auto 3. Kind of sad I'm not getting that. Because I would have... I'm not a big Nico fan. But Grand Theft Auto 3 characters, I'd like to see myself playing as those guys.
Yeah.
Not now, though, because I didn't get that $150 Collector's Edition. I just got the $100 Special Edition. But that's all right, though. It's all right.
That's all right.
Keiji Inop... I don't even know how to say his name. God. But the creator of Mega Man is making a spiritual successor to Mega Man. This game is called Mighty Number 9, and it has already hit its Kickstarter goal of $900,000 within 3 days of going up. So
expect good things.
Yeah, expect good things. By the time this Kickstarter goal is over, I imagine they will be well over their stretch goal of $2.5 million to get this on consoles. 900,000 in a day. That's
if you round up, just make it $1 million.
Yeah.
Give it another week.
Yeah, it'll be there. It'll be there. We'll be seeing this on consoles. Now, it's worth noting it'll be on current gen consoles, not next gen. And Keiji, or however you say his name. Yeah, that sounds good. He's not familiar with the next gen consoles yet, so he wanted to go with consoles he's familiar with.
Yeah,
so,
which is good.
Kaiji and a fool.
That will.
Yes, that's how you say it.
That'll keep it on current gen consoles. Speaking of Game of the Year editions, Halo 4 getting a Game of the Year edition. Now, this actually makes sense because while Borderlands was a good game, I don't think it was Game of the Year. Sorry, Death. But Halo 4, on the other hand, was actually Game of the Year material. So it actually makes sense to brand it that. Now, this will be coming with all the DLC that's happened, including the expansions that they had to Spartan Ops, all the map packs that came with the Season Pass, plus the Champions Bundle DLC with the Tomb War maps, the new gun skins, the new armors, all that'll be there.
It'll all be there.
It'll all be there. And they're releasing it for $50, not $60, so you can get that puppy for $49.99.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty good deal.
It is. It is a good deal.
Pretty good deal. Steve-O, time to hop back on Halo.
Yeah, I know, right? Get frustrated with Call of Duty, go over to Halo.
That's right. And then we can always just hop on Spartan Ops and keep it cool.
Oh, yeah.
I still have yet to finish Spartan Ops. I need to get someone to finish that with me anyway. Let's see.
Season 2. That's when I need to play.
Yeah, me too. I finished the first one. Never really finished the second one.
Finished all of
And
them.
the second one was supposedly the better of the
a lot
two
better
seasons.
from what everybody said.
Especially the missions where the Covenant were taking over the ship.
Yeah,
the
that was
Infinity
awesome.
ship.
Especially when the captain gets involved.
Oh, spoilers!
Oh, my bad.
But that's the one that I want to play.
Yeah, that's worth it.
All right, so the launch editions of Ryse and Dead Rising 3 have been detailed. Microsoft has announced in-game items for the Day 1 editions, Ryse, Dead Rising 3, and Forza Motorsport 5. Let's see, you got the 3-car pack in Forza 5 for the Day 1. And then Ryse comes with a sword and bonus in-game attributes, and also a co-op map that will be exclusive to the Day 1 edition. But even if you have the standard edition,
Cool.
if your buddy owns the Day 1 edition, he can still invite you to that game. So,
That's cool.
if I get the Day 1 edition, matter of fact, he jumps into Xbox One a little later and gets Ryse, he can still play that Day 1 map. Still play that with me and Steve-O. We just got to send him that invite.
You're not leaving me out.
That's right. All right, and then for Dead Rising 3, you will be able to deck out your new hero in some familiar-looking ensembles. You'll have
The Dead Rising 3 one's awesome.
Frank West, cool dude duds with zombie slugger weapon, and you also have Chuck Green's biker clothing as well as a paddle saw.
Essentially, you get Chuck Green and Frank West because your character gets their clothes, their special ability, and their weapon.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And both outfits come with those perks that you were talking with too, along with custom skill moves.
Yeah, their special move or whatever. That's so you basically get those two characters, which is pretty cool.
Sweet.
That's a nice little bonus for just purchasing a game on Day 1.
Yeah, I think it is too. Looking forward to it.
So do I.
Oh yeah! All right, so Fable Legends. We talked about this last episode. It was announced Gamescom, and they're evidently going to be having a beta for Fable Legends.
Not the fish.
You can sign up for it, or sign up for more information on it on their website, Lionhead's website. I think they've actually set up a website specifically for Fable Legends, but you can get there through Lionhead's website. And definitely worth signing up for. I actually already went on there and signed up, so hopefully I'll be getting more information on that sooner than later.
Sooner than later.
Who doesn't love a beta? All right, and then Warface coming to exclusively on consoles to 360 next year.
Warface.
Yep, this is a free-to-play shooter from Crytek.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I've heard lots of good things about it. Glad to see it's coming. I'm actually kind of wondering why they didn't make it that jump to Xbox One and why only 360. And then when I thought about it, I'm guessing because of the user base. Like an MMO. Maybe shortly later after launch, they would announce something like
It's
that.
coming
when
out
there's
for
more
PlayStation
people.
4 as a timed exclusive. Maybe they're just...
You're talking about Warface.
That's what this is?
Oh, no, not Warface.
Warframe?
Yeah, Warframe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, two different games.
That's right. It is Warframe.
Warframe is Digital Extremes. This is Crytek.
Yeah. Warface is... Warframe is the ninja one, right?
Yeah, it's like
Space
a
Ninja
Mass
shit?
Effect, yeah.
Yeah.
Free to play.
So what is Warface?
This looks more like some Call of Duty type ish.
Modern shooter.
Yeah.
Well, if it's Crytek, it'll probably be good. They do shooters very, very well.
Yeah, they
Yep.
do.
Crisis is classic material.
Yep, it'll be entirely free to play, as long as you have a gold subscription.
That's a given.
Yeah, Warface is a military shooter set in the near future, and Crytek says it will offer a cinematic experience with next-gen visuals, artificial intelligence, and physics. It's actually currently in beta on PC, so if you're interested, you can look into getting into that beta. All right, and with that, that is the news for this week. We will move on into the talk of the week, which, starting off, we're going to talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows.
It was awesome.
Which I think is arguably might be my favorite game that came out of Summer of Arcade this year. That and Charlie Murder are probably my two favorites.
Yeah.
Well, and I played them all except for Flashback, so but I didn't hear great things about that. So,
Neither did I.
And somebody didn't feel like tossing me a code to review it, so didn't get down with that. But we have gotten down with Ninja Turtles, Charlie Murder, and Brothers, which obviously all three of them were great games. J. Ray had great things to say about Brothers. I had great things to say about Charlie Murder, and here we are with great things to say about Ninja Turtles. So I think most importantly, the first thing you want to note is the first thing that you will notice when you boot up the game, which is the original Turtle Power song.
Yes, it is.
From the original movie, playing in the menu.
Great.
Turtle Power.
And
Loving it.
Also note that the way the turtles are set up on the screen, it's like the original comic book
Yeah.
when they first came out. In the shadows, wide eyes,
Yep.
looking all badass.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, as soon as you boot it up, you see that main menu and that music comes on. You're like, oh, cowabunga, it's shell shock
It's on.
time. It's about to go down. And from there, you're just pumped, and it just gets greater and
It
greater
does.
from there. Hopping in, you can do local co-op or online co-op, and the combat is surprisingly awesome.
It is. It's really deep.
Really, really deep, in-depth for an arcade game.
Yeah. And every turtle has their own style.
Yeah, I will say it has a small learning curve. When you first start playing, you might be like, man, what's going on here? But I mean, just give it about 10 or 15 minutes, and you will be
Especially once you start unlocking
badass
moves.
ninja.
Yeah. When you start unlocking moves, you start to do some pretty incredible feats on there.
Once you start unlocking the extra moves through your upgrades, you can upgrade each turtle. And you don't have to play as that turtle to upgrade that turtle. You can play as, like, if your favorite turtle is Donatello like me, you can play as just Donatello the whole time and keep leveling up, and you can use the points that you get from that and pump them into Leo, Mikey, any turtle you want.
Yeah.
You don't have to just pump them into the turtle that you're playing as.
Which is nice.
And there's a bunch of different categories you can upgrade. You can do your single-player combat attacks and moves.
Yeah.
You can do your health and your defense upgrades. You can do your team attacks.
Yeah.
You can also do
Specials.
taunts.
Yeah, there's taunts. Yeah,
Taunts.
special attacks.
Special attacks.
Counters.
Yep. There's like 5 different categories at least.
Yeah, and I think each turtle though already comes with one unlocked. Like I think Donnie comes with like the hacking ability already unlocked.
Right.
Like for each trait.
And it's not the same upgrades for each turtle.
Yeah.
Each turtle has their own unique set of moves, specials, upgrades, and
That's
abilities.
What keeps it so fresh.
Now that was just wonderful. That was wonderful. I appreciate you letting out that flatulence.
Feel better.
All I did was lean over, and it just kind of
Creeped out, huh? Got a loose end going on there.
Nobody lied anything.
But yeah,
everybody just kind of stopped.
once you master the combat, it gets really fluent.
Yeah.
There'll be like prompts that'll come up on the screen every now and then to remind you of like certain moves that you could be doing.
Yeah, that's true. Helpful hints.
Yeah, helpful hints. For those who might be new to this type of brawler. But like I said, there's a small learning curve. But after you play it for 10 or 15 minutes, you'll be right in there, feeling at home.
Yeah. Kicking
ass like never before.
Yeah, and you get You also get items like shurikens, soda cans, which refill your energy bars, some special moves.
Pizzas, of course.
Yes,
just like in the classic Turtle games, to fill up your health.
Yeah.
And there's also special weapons for each turtle.
Yeah, that's true.
That you can unlock, and there's 3 levels for each weapon that'll allow you to do more special moves with that weapon.
Yeah.
And you can just press I think it's the left bumper to equip that weapon, and you can just, after you press it, it's there, and you can just keep using it for as long as you want. It's not like a timed thing where it goes away after a while. You just kick ass with that thing, and the enemies will come at you from all directions,
all angles. It plays a lot like
and you can taunt them to bring them out even more.
And taunting will also help you do better special moves as well.
Boost. You have to do it before like an initial fight.
Yeah.
You can only do it once, I think, like per battle or something like that.
And of course, there's also blocking, and there's counters as well. If you get the timing right, you can be countering the ninjas or the purple dragons or whoever you're fighting against.
That's where I think the game really comes alive, because once you start doing that, you're able to string combos into counters and then move to another guy. It gets pretty cool.
Yeah, there's actually an achievement for getting a 100 hit combo.
Yeah, 99 hits.
Which is going to be hard to do.
Yeah, the highest I got is 35.
Yeah,
and then it fell apart.
Yeah, and we've played a lot of it. We've already beat the main story.
It's definitely possible though, because I mean, I did the what you call it,
demo.
Yeah, the trial. But you could play through the first stage or two in the trial, or you could do the
challenges,
survival.
No,
arcade.
No. Yes, you could, but not.
He's nuts.
Tutorial. God.
Yeah. All right.
And the combat tutorial, and you can go through all that. You could, I mean, without even playing it much, you can get some pretty high combos.
Yeah, you can.
But yeah, I mean, I liked it too. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. Let's see. There's 4 chapters altogether, plus a prelude. Where you play as April, which is really short. I'd say it's about 5 minutes long.
That's not in the trial.
No. But appreciate you pointing that out.
That's not there.
But
you didn't miss a lot.
4 chapters may not seem like a lot, but each of those chapters is pretty long. They're long.
They are.
I would say each chapter is at least an hour.
Give or take.
Yeah, an hour to an hour and a half. If you play all 4 chapters, including the prelude, it'd probably take about 5 to 6 hours.
You can't do that in the trial.
No. And it's also worth noting that, you're like, we got to the 2nd level and we must have played it a couple times.
Yeah.
Because we just weren't there ability-wise or level-wise to finish that level yet. So we actually played through that level 2 or 3 times before we beat it.
It almost had a grind.
Yeah, it kind of was a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think we also hadn't mastered the controls of the game yet. And then, like, after that 3rd time, we had, got some abilities. We had mastered the controls. And I don't think we ever replayed a level after that.
No, I don't
ever
think so
again.
either.
Like,
once we got the hang of it and we knew what to pay attention to.
Yeah. I'd also like to say that graphically, this game looks great.
It does.
Or as Steve would say, gorgeous.
Gorgeous is right.
Gorgeous for an arcade game.
Especially with the turtles. I like the design they went with the turtles.
Yeah, which kind of reminds you of like the older movies. And I know a lot of people, including myself, were kind of skeptical from the screenshots I was seeing before the game came out. I was like, why didn't they go with the art style that they got in the new cartoon right now?
Well, see, I was kind of worried about that because I like the new cartoon, but I don't know. I like Ninja Turtles to be grittier.
Yeah.
Because, that's just how it was growing up.
Yeah.
And I mean, I like the new ones, but I also didn't, I like the 80s cartoon, but it was so comical. Like, I just wanted to see them straight just...
You can't stay in the past forever, Matt.
Now,
I'm just saying.
Everything about this game is really great. The one thing I will say about it, and J. Ray will appreciate this, the voice acting, not that great.
True.
Voice acting, not that great.
It's
Why did they not just get the voice actors from the new cartoon?
I know.
I mean,
legal issues probably.
The budget was obviously there.
Yeah,
they had the budget to make a great game. They had Just Blaze make the soundtrack.
Yeah,
who was a well-known producer.
Maybe that's why they cut the.
I mean, what did they spend all the money on Just Blaze? They couldn't get the voice acting because of this. I don't know.
Hope not.
Yeah, I mean, well, he hasn't been that great in a long time, but he did a good job with the game. I mean, I really like the soundtrack.
Especially some of the songs they have in there remind you of like. There's a song in there that reminds me of the roof fight from the first movie, Raphael.
Yeah.
When it's like...
Oh, and level-wise, it'll take you through all the traditional areas you're used to from other Turtle games. Alleys, rooftops, warehouses, sewers.
Technodrome-looking...
Yep, Technodrome-looking building. And then you got, of course, the Shredder's skyscraper construction site, which reminded me of the construction site from that last movie they had.
Oh, okay.
The animated movie with all those stone guys.
Yeah.
there was like a scene at
That was good
a
scene,
construction
yeah.
site in
That's when
that
they first
movie.
like get a hold of those monsters or those.
Yeah,
so
that was when
whatnot.
they first fought the one that he was like super huge or whatever,
Yeah.
and he kept throwing them off the side of the construction building, and they
Yeah.
keep making their way back up. But yeah, really awesome, like tons of different levels, and also the amount of content.
Arcade mode.
There's an arcade mode, which is almost like a second campaign.
Pretty much.
It's
yeah.
8 stages long.
Yeah.
Plays just like the campaign itself does, except it's kind of nostalgic
Stationary
with the
camera,
with the left
yeah.
to right camera,
Just yeah.
and there's throwbacks in there to the old stuff, like when you're walking through the streets, the garage door open, and like a
Yeah.
car will come flying out,
I've been noticing
just like in the old Turtles arcade game.
I've been noticing. Well, I haven't played a lot of it yet, but I'm sure there's probably sections where you hit like a hydrant and like water comes spewing out. Or
Yeah,
something like
just
that.
like the old ones.
Yeah.
And then of course you got the challenge mode,
Yeah.
and then there's also a survival mode as well.
Yeah. Survival mode's fun.
It is
I like that.
hard though.
It's hard, but
There's 20 waves. There's an achievement for beating all 20 waves.
yeah.
If you beat all 20 waves of Ninja Turtles, send us your gamer tag with the so I can verify the achievement on that, and I will send you some Microsoft points. Word
Yeah.
up, word up.
No, you won't.
Yes, I will.
No, you won't.
You get that achievement, I'll send you some.
You can't.
I'm about to get that,
Microsoft
too.
points are gone.
You can still get the cards
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
store. Yeah,
Yeah, but those points are going to be converted over to real money, so they're not.
it'll still work just as good.
They're
still
not
getting
getting
some
their
from the cheap.
Microsoft points.
Jerry don't know what he's talking about. Moving on. All right, so fragging this puppy,
Oh, 5.
5 frags all day,
Easily.
easily.
It was definitely worth the $15.
Terrific. And then I think I 5 fragged Charlie Murray as well. And did you 5 brothers?
Yep.
So we got 3 5 fraggers out of the Summer of
Summer
Arcade this
yeah.
year.
I think we're just overly generous.
We are.
But
Ninja Turtles aren't that though.
Yeah, Ninja Turtles did. So did Charlie Murray.
it's what a brother.
We are not overly generous. We're just keeping it real. All right. And matter of fact,
Oh, Defiance.
Defiance, and he's actually been playing a lot of it, even more than I have.
Yeah, that game's addicting. I don't know jack about the story, and this is why. Because that game, like, as soon as you hop into it, you just have this huge world. Just to go, which is, I guess, nothing new, but for me, playing the first kind of MMO I've ever played, seeing all these other people on screen and going to, like, the Arc Falls, which are, like, community events,
Yeah.
where everybody just gets down, just kills everything. And loots
And there's like
everything.
100 people on screen at a
Yeah,
time.
it's crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah, and there's so much you can do. Even I have fun just riding around my little 4-wheeler, hitting the boost over jumps and stuff, catching
Yeah.
some air.
And actually, if you look on the back of the case of the game, it says co-op players 1 to 10,000.
Yeah, which is I can believe it because especially on the first time I saw what was it not an arc fall but that blue orb we saw.
Yeah, and for a free-to-play MMO, it's really awesome.
Yeah, that's true.
And
Not $15
and
a month.
and it's not like your traditional free-to-play model where you pretty much have to spend money
Yeah, you don't.
to get around or access things.
You
Like
can,
everything's
but-
there. Like
yeah.
you can pay money to get weapons a little bit faster, but
Yeah,
I mean you
experience,
can totally
yeah.
do it just by playing the game.
Yeah, and they give you stuff that you earn cash.
I actually haven't spent any real money in the game at
No.
all yet.
I've actually looked to try to, but I haven't figured it out yet because I want to get that.
I can show you how to do it.
Oh, don't. That might be a bad idea. But they give you cash, like the green. You
There
unlock-
are these things
There's
called credits, and
credits.
you buy the credits with real money, and then you
Yeah.
use the credits to buy stuff in the game.
But I'm saying like even from what you earn without buying, you get like cash.
Mhm.
What's that other stuff? they call
Salvage.
it? Salvage or something like that.
Salvage
And
is
then
a salvage.
keys.
How much salvage is the stuff that looks like green coins?
Was that the salvage? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's something else.
There's also something called reputation. Like I walked up to a vending
yeah.
machine and I wanted to buy a gun, and it was like, "You need more reputation."
Yeah.
And I look at my reputation level is 0, and I'm like,
Oh.
"What?" So maybe you have to do story missions to up your reputation.
Might
I'm
have
guessing
to.
because we've done a ton of arc falls,
Yeah.
and it evidently does not give you any reputation.
I don't know. Maybe you have to join like a clan or something.
Well,
Because I know they have clans and stuff like that.
the way that WoW is like there's different sections or groups of people, and you do
Oh,
those
yeah.
types of things
I
for
think-
them,
yeah.
and then that's how you
That's
build your
what that
rep up.
is.
So that's pretty
I
much.
think they're the side quests.
Side quests?
Yeah, because there's a lot of side quests on there. I remember reading somewhere that
Yeah.
actually I think it was a website for like achievements.
And if they have things called dailies where you can only do that one quest once per day.
Oh, they have things that they call pursuits on there. Yeah.
Those are those
So-
racing things, aren't they?
Well, I don't know because I get pursuits sometimes just by doing some arc falls or picking up like
Oh,
so
gotcha,
much
gotcha.
stuff or whatever.
But some of the side quests are like racing, aren't they?
Yeah, I did one the other day. It's or actually I did one today. It's like a track just on the open world, like those roads they already have on there. They just have circular orbs. You have to drive through, and you have to like boost the whole time. They give you
Joyride Turbo or something.
yeah, 'cause, it's just.
Is it any good? Because I mean,
it's
like
all right.
the vehicle controls on that game aren't that great. I'm gonna
it's
go
real
ahead
floaty.
and be honest with that.
Yeah, it's a little floaty, and I thought I'd have a hard time. I missed a couple, but I did like the easy one, where it was like
Right.
on level land, and I didn't have to worry about bouncing all over the place
Oh,
if I hit a ball.
The shooting in that game is really good.
Yeah, it is, especially with different kinds of weapons. I
The
actually
game came out, about 6
April.
months ago?
came out
something
in
like
April,
that.
I think.
Yeah,
5 months ago or so.
Yeah.
Never even thought to get it. I mean, it just didn't get very good
4 or 5
reviews,
months
so I never
Yeah.
even really gave it a chance,
It's worth it now. It makes me want to watch the TV show.
Oh, is that what it's based off? Is
Yeah,
it the
they're
sci-fi
supposed
show?
to be
They
like
came out at the
tied.
same time.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So, yeah, supposedly events that happen in the TV world will affect the game world.
Oh.
And since I don't know anything about the TV world, I don't know what's being affected.
yeah. I mean,
No.
people gave it average reviews.
Yeah.
It didn't get bad reviews, but it didn't get good
I
reviews.
think it got like a
either.
5.5 on IGN or
Probably doesn't
something.
have-
IGN gave it 7.5.
You sure? I don't know about that.
Pretty sure
What
they
gave it, 'cause I like it. It's fun.
I mean, it doesn't really matter what they give if you like it, yeah. If you like it, then it's,
It's definitely
Yeah,
It was fun
when
to play.
reviews are
It's
opinions
fun.
of the person that reviews it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Graphically, not the greatest ever.
No, it's
But it's not bad either.
no. Music wise, it's
But
I didn't know it was based off the TV show.
My-
I've never seen the show.
my guess is to have an MMO like that on these current gen consoles with that many people, you probably can't be graphically that great.
no, especially with all the amount of characters, especially the dark energy or dark matter drops.
Yeah.
Those are the bigger ones.
Yeah, because I
And
mean,
there's-
360 only has 512 megabytes of RAM.
Yeah. And
So-
I imagine they cut down the graphics just to squeeze all the stuff they could. Because I mean, in some
They
battles,
have to if there's not many people on.
yeah, and there's like
There's a ton.
take a little square. There's like 50 people in that little square you cut out from the screen. And then there's like rockets flying everywhere. And they have like a huge robot off in the distance that's like shooting down like 16 rockets at you. So it gets pretty epic, pretty quick.
Yeah.
So they do have those big monster battles where there's
Yeah.
multiple people trying to take
Oh
them.
yeah,
Yeah.
huge
There's
monsters.
like
I have to
robots.
get
There's
into
like
that
hell
then.
bugs or something.
Yeah, I mean, I think you would like it. You like shooters and you're big on MMOs, so I think you'd like it.
Yeah, you don't really die a whole lot. And when you do die, you can revive yourself like once,
Is
or
there
you
like
can hit A
I can't
to
remember. Is
extract
there like
out.
a medic class, or is there like classes like that, or is it all just?
There's 4 different classes. I'm the machinist, which I don't know what it does, because I haven't found anything to mess around with. And there's like all your standard fare like assault type things, scout stuff like that. But it's definitely worth a look at. It's a fun game.
I
I'd probably
like it.
give that like 4 frags.
4 frags.
I play the game a lot. I love that game.
Yeah, I think 4 frags is about right. 3.5 to 4, somewhere 3.75.
The only real
There you go.
downside is the amount of content you have to download when you get this game. I think it even says on the game case it requires like 10.
Oh my god, yeah, patches take
It's
forever.
at least an
Well,
hour.
when DC Universe came out, seriously, this is not an exaggeration, had like a 5-hour download before
Yeah.
I could even
Yeah.
play the game.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it is.
Yeah,
You throw in, and I installed the disc when I first put it in,
yeah.
so that was like 7 gigs,
Yeah,
and then you pull up the game, and then it wants you to install another 4 gigs,
yeah.
and then you install that 4 gigs,
Then any other
which comes over your
patches.
internet connection, and then it installs the patches, which is like another couple gigs.
Yeah,
I think
So you're
I think
like-
like by the time it was all over, it's like 13 gigs
Yeah,
or
12,
something.
13 gigs. Yeah,
But so if you don't have the hard drive space,
it's not. Yeah, don't pick it up.
yeah. If you've got one of those original Xbox Pro 20 gig hard drives, Defiance
Half
ain't,
of it's gonna be called up. by
Defiance
Defiance.
ain't gonna work out for you unless
No.
that's the only game you plan on playing.
For real.
Did you watch the the IGN Live thing on Final Fantasy 14: A Realm Reborn?
No, I only watched the Diablo 3.
I know that the original Final Fantasy 14 got terrible reviews, but like
so much so that they made it free to play.
Yeah, well, and then I guess
And then they shut it down.
Yeah, and completely remade the game after it had already been released. It's like the first time I can ever remember.
I actually heard that A Realm Reborn isn't even that great.
Well, that's what I was about to say. It's gotten average reviews and stuff, but after watching the IGN Live on it, it looked cool. Like, it looked like something I'd be interested in. Had amazing graphics for a MMO and stuff.
Gorgeous.
And, yeah, I was actually
Gorgeous.
thinking about checking it out, man. You know, I mean, what do you got to lose?
And you said it's where? On PC?
No, it's all, well, it is on PC. No, it's
on PC.
Well, I know the original one was on PC, but this one's on PS3 and Xbox 360. But it's...
Let me know, Jerry.
I'll let you know.
Well, no, this new one, Final Fantasy A Realm Reborn, is not on 360. It's only on PC and PS3.
Oh, it's not on 360? Realm Reborn's not out for 360?
Nope,
Well,
nope,
maybe I
nope.
won't.
They wanted to put it on there, but Microsoft pretty much turned it down, just for that, what I read.
Yeah.
But it was developed for PC, and then they ported it over to PS3 as well. So,
But it looked interesting, you know. It looked like something I'd be interested in. It didn't get great reviews again either, you know. It was getting like 6s and 6.5s and stuff. But
better reviews than the first one got.
That's true. That one was just terrible.
They almost should have just stuck with Final Fantasy 11 and kept expanding and upgrading that, because I mean that game had a pretty good user base,
install base, yeah.
and that game was on 360 and PS3 and PC.
Yeah. That was on PlayStation 2, wasn't it? Or that was a different one, wasn't it?
I have no idea. It might have been on PS2. I'm not a PlayStation guy. I wouldn't know.
Sorry.
It's been ages since I touched a PlayStation controller.
Last week, son. Right here.
Oh, Jay. But all right. So Saints Row 4. I got my review up on the website.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and give it 4 frags. If you've played Saints Row 3, you know what to expect with Saints Row 4. The difference is Saints Row has gotten more and more over the top with every game. Saints Row 1 was a Grand Theft Auto clone. Saints Row 2 was a Grand Theft Auto clone with some more over the top stuff going on that you could do in the side activities. Saints Row 3, they just put it straight over the top and started moving it in a different direction than Grand Theft Auto.
That's where it started getting its own.
Right.
Yeah.
And then here with Saints Row 4, they just turned up the notch on the crazy meter and broke the notch off, and just it's just craziness. You start off as the president of the United States, then aliens invade and abduct all your friends. Then you're in like a digital nightmare of the 1950s where everything is gee golly great and gay and everybody's just so happy and there's nothing wrong with the world, and that is your character's version of a nightmare.
Man.
And you've got to make your way out of there. And there's this chick named Kenzie who helps you make your way out of there, and then you take control of your regular body, which is in like cryostasis on the alien ship. You come out of cryostasis. You got to escape off the alien ship, and then Kenzie has hijacked another alien ship, which you get on, and then this alien ship that's been hijacked kind of like becomes like your mission hub for the game, where there's like these pods inside that ship where you can get inside to go back into the digital world and work to help free your fellow saints from their nightmares. And once you free them, then you go back to the alien ship, pick them up, rescue them from the alien ship, and then they become a crew member on your ship, where you can get missions from them. And there's actually romance options for each character, even the dudes.
Whoa.
There's a robot who is like a character, and you can try and romance the robot as well. So
Nice.
Ouch.
it's crazy. Like the chick Kenzie, I walked up to her and it was like romance Kenzie. I hit the button and the dude was like, "Hey Kenzie, wanna fuck?" And then she's like, "Let's do it," and then just punched me in my face and then tackled me to the ground, and then it starts playing like some little love music or whatever. And then there's this other chick named Asha, and then you walk up to her and hit the romance button, and he's like, "Asha, I respect you too much to bullshit you." And then she's like, "Don't lie, you don't respect me." And he's like, "Yeah, you're right. I'm looking for rough sex, and Kenzie scares me." And then she's like, "I stay on top, and you don't say anything." And then your guy's like, "Deal." and then y'all both go running off into the next room. And then the other chick, Shanti, she's been in all the Saints Rows, including this one.
Okay.
You walk up to her and hit the romance option, and then your dude's like, girl, you have changed so much. And then she's like, we both have. And then you're like, man, it's been a crazy ride. She's like, yeah, it has. And he's like, man, I gotta be straight with you. One thing that's been driving me crazy is that throughout all these Saints Row games you done had, boyfriends in all these different towns. And in the last game, you even went on a dating show, but you never gave me a chance. And then she's like, you never asked for one. He's like, well, I'm asking now. And then she's like, well, let's make up for lost time. And then she grabs your hand and pulls you into the other room. Funny stuff going on with that game. All the bosses are crazy. They actually took a lot of cues from Mass Effect with those romancing options on the ship. And then there's loyalty missions for each character, just like in Mass Effect 2. And if you complete the loyalty missions for each character, you'll get a better ending to the game, just like Mass Effect 2. If you go through and you don't do the loyalty missions, you'll get the bad ending, which I haven't seen that. I did all the loyalty missions, so I got the good ending. But crazy game. The weapons are off the wall. There's a gun called the dubstep gun, where it like plays like dubstep tunes, and there's like these waves coming out of your gun that like pulsate to the music, and like pedestrians on the street will like start like doing these crazy dances and stuff like while you're firing the gun at enemies. There's an abduction gun where it's almost like the Spartan laser from Halo, but when the laser finishes charging, a light comes down from the sky and it like starts pulling these people up off the ground into the air like they're being abducted by aliens. There's another one called like the bounce rifle where you fire a shot and it like bounces off all the enemies in the area. There's a tentacle bat, which is like an alien tentacle connected to like a metal pommel, and you can swing it and smack people across the face with it. Of course, the purple dildo from Saints Row 2 and 3 returns. You can hit people with that. Tons of different crazy weapons. The outfits are just off the wall. You can dress up as pretty much anything you can think of, from a clown to a hobo to a mime to, I mean, anything you can think of you can dress up as. Vehicles, the aliens have their own vehicles. They've got like these hover motorcycle things. One thing that's changed about Saints now is any vehicle you get into, just hit down on the D-pad and it'll save that vehicle to your phone. Because since you're in a digital world, you can just make vehicles appear out of nowhere. That's cool. And so any vehicle you've saved into your phone, you just pull up your phone and then pick the vehicle you want that you've saved, hit the button, and it just appears in front of you. And then you just hop in it and go. And that goes for airplanes, tanks, cars, everything, everything and anything. Now there aren't any boats in this Saints Row, which I thought was kind of weird.
Can you go swimming though? Still, you
can get in the water and swim around. There's no real point to it because once you're in the water, it'll come up with a prompt and it'll say press Y to warp to shore. And then you can just press the Y button and warp to shore. So there's really no point in swimming. So I mean. But the abilities you get, the superpowers, like, it reminded me a lot of Crackdown. Okay, yeah. Like, you run at super fast speeds, you get, like, a super jump, and the more you upgrade it, like, you can literally hit the A button, charge it up, and pull a Superman and leap tall buildings in a single bound. You know, more powerful than a locomotive, faster than a speeding bullet. You know, that's all there. You've got, like, telekinesis, where you can, like, pick up objects with your mind and throw them at enemies. You got elemental powers like ice, fire, electricity. You can throw at enemies and hit them with. Death from above. There's an ability called Death from Above where you can jump in the air and charge up, and then like there's like a targeting meter down below, and you just pick where you want to land and hit the button, and your dude will come down and do like a super punch on the ground and send everybody around you flying through the air. That's cool. There's a lot of nostalgic stuff in there too. Like I was telling you, like some of the missions. There's this one where you're like rescuing this dude named Matt of all people, and it's like a top-down tank game, mini game, which kind of reminded me of that combat game from Atari. And then like after you do that, you're on like a motorcycle, and everything's like all neon, and it almost looks like you're driving to like a Tron world, you know, as you're trying to so it looks just like a light cycle, and you're just trying to make your way through to the end to save the dude. There's another one like when you're saving Johnny Gat. By the way, Johnny Gat's back, and it's like a Super Nintendo graphics, and it's like Streets of Rage, except it's called Saints of Rage, and there's like 3 or 4 stages, and it plays just like Streets of Rage. I mean, you got elevators opening up, and like a bunch of guys that come out of the elevator, and then Dumpsters will open up and people will just jump out of the dumpsters.
Coming out the garbage.
Yeah. Awesome game. I would say if you didn't like any of the previous Saints Rows, probably won't like this one.
Yeah.
But if you like open world games, if you like zany over the top stuff, or if you just like Saints Row in general, you will like Saints Row 4.
That's cool.
Bada boom. All right, and with that, me and Steve got down on the new Black Ops DLC last night. Steve-O, what were your first impressions?
It was a good mix of a lot of. It seemed like a lot of them were close range maps, more so than a mixture of long and short. There were some that I totally was just getting owned on, and everybody wanted to play it. It was Dig.
Yeah.
I mean,
everybody kept voting for that map.
Geez,
and it's a decent map, but I mean, I like the pod map way better.
Oh,
yeah.
And it came up maybe once the whole time we were playing.
That's usually the case. There's a game that we like, either it be like for Halo or for Call of Duty, and we're looking for that map. And when it comes up, everybody chooses something that always comes up, like Nuketown or something like that.
Yeah.
So, I think out of all of them, that was my top favorite was Pod. The least favorite was Dig. Frost was interesting.
Yeah. That was the map that takes place in like a little city in Amsterdam. It's covered in snow, and there's a bridge in the middle, but you can walk over the water because it's frozen.
Yeah. And it wasn't too bad.
The balance of that map was really good because one side of the map mirrored the other side.
Mm-hmm.
It actually kind of reminded me of like a Gears of War map. It was very, very symmetrical, and it didn't matter what side you started on. Everything was really evenly balanced. I wish they did more Call of Duty maps like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So I thought that was a really good aspect of that map.
Which one do you think wasn't your least favorite, and what was your? Obviously, we know your most favorite was Pod.
Yeah.
But what's your least?
My least favorite was probably Takeoff. That was the one that takes place on like a floating missile silo out in the ocean somewhere.
Oh, okay, yeah. I remember seeing that one.
It's a floating platform thing, but it's so big that it's almost like a little mini city. I mean, there's different buildings that you can go into and out of and around, and then of course they got the silo where the missile launches from. I mean, it wasn't a bad map. Don't get me wrong. It just wasn't. It was my least favorite out of the four.
Yeah. And then we also did the zombie map.
Yeah, and then I think that's probably the highlight of the DLC.
Yeah.
While the maps in this one were good, they weren't as good as the Vengeance or Uprising DLC maps. I think those maps were leaps and bounds better than these, multiplayer-wise. But zombie-wise, I think Origins might be one of the best zombie offerings on Black Ops 2.
It wasn't overbearing, but it wasn't easy either.
Yeah.
Because there were many times where you thought you had a good safe point, and there'd be a hole above you, and they could drop down from it.
Yeah.
But then there was other places that you could actually hold down temporarily and do the little blow off the guy's legs and have somebody trail him while you figure out where everything else is.
And then we'll see. And then that's one of my main gripes with zombies is like the first time you play a map, you have no idea what to do.
Yeah.
Or what your objective is. So you've got to go online and look up a YouTube video to figure out what the hell you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Well, on this one, there's actually like the voice of a little girl who's like talking to you, kind of giving you hints
it's multiple voices
of what you need to be doing while you're playing. And then also like the environment is set up in such a way like you'll run across this and see this, and then you'll run to a different area and see this, and you're like, oh, this probably goes with that. So you can like put two and two together. Like you can actually play this map and accomplish things without having to pull out your laptop or tablet and find a YouTube video.
Gotcha.
One thing that you definitely
which I think all zombie maps should be that way. I think it's pretty retarded. Evidently a lot of people like it like that, or zombies wouldn't be so popular.
Well,
but
if you're
it's
gonna
just not my thing.
If you're gonna make a zombie map that's like that, then why don't you make a zombie survival where there's waves and waves of where they just come at you. It's just an open area and boom, call it a day. But for zombies, I think to be the way that it's supposed to be played, which is to get through the objective, give us a little bit of time, a little bit of space, because lighting. There's lights and dark spots. There's like when we found the shovels, I didn't know that there was two shovels.
Yeah.
You know, and that was a good point, was that there's like bone piles that you can dig up, and sometimes it's like grenades that pop up and you have to run away.
Yeah, you can
or
dig up
throw
weapons
them.
and stuff.
Cool.
Guns sometimes. I've dug up a zombie, he just come up.
And there's
out
a
of
tank
nowhere.
in the level, which you can get on top of, and me and Steve-O got on top of the tank, and you can hit the button on the tank, and it'll activate it, and the tank will start roving its way around the map, and you can just stay on top of the tank and just be mowing down zombies with your gun as it makes its way. After a while, it'll like overheat, and it'll have to cool down for a little while, so you can't just stay on it endlessly.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
But it was definitely pretty cool.
Then we got owned.
Did you guys run into any of those giant robots?
Yeah,
We did.
We got
Oh, did you?
owned.
Oh,
Yeah.
was that where that
Yeah,
got
he got stuck graphically, like
And
his
in
foot
a
was
spot.
wedged in between the tank and like the dirt, and I decided to throw a grenade, and apparently pissed
Oh,
him
that
off.
grenade pissed him off.
Because Jeff was all like, "Good job, Steve," and we're sitting there running, and the next thing I know, Jeff is down, and I'm like, they say something like, in order to take him down, you need to shoot him in the light or something like that, which I'm assuming in the face, obviously.
Yeah.
And all you got is this small ass circle, and he's already bent over.
Yeah.
You know, so all I had left for ammo was a shotgun, so I had to be up close. That didn't turn out too well for me,
No.
Yeah.
but it was still good though. I mean, you were able to explore, find, rebuild, regroup, and keep going. It wasn't something that tied you down or made you feel like you couldn't progress because you're too quick into running to a different direction because of all the zombies.
Yeah.
You know, so I totally like as far as that DLC goes. I think like P said, that's what made that DLC what it is. It's
So they-
awesome.
They gave you like more
So-
time to kind of gather your thoughts and figure out where you need to go.
Yeah,
What the
and
objective
they have
is.
the a blood pack or something like that, where like it's,
Oh yeah, you can get covered in zombie blood, and that'll let you walk amongst the zombies, and they won't and like they won't attack you
yeah.
for as long as that's active.
When you're the person that gets that, it pops up just like the bombs or the extra ammo.
Yeah.
You'll have your screen will have like a red ring, and then on the inside it'll be like a yellowish tint, and your character will say something like, "Oh, I'm acting like I'm one of them." You know, they don't recognize me, so you're able to sit there and I'll take my shotgun going point blank up against the back of their heads.
Yeah.
And then P was telling me, and I saw this later when he got the pack, that there's like a red trail.
Yeah.
When your partner gets it, you can see that he's got the trail. So, I mean, it's good. You could sit there and linger him into one point and have your buddy have the blood pack just go right behind him, pop, 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 pop.
Take them all out.
Yeah. I think all in all, I would say if you're a Zombies fan, or if you have the season pass, download it. If you don't have the season pass and you're only a fan of multiplayer and not zombies, I would say it's probably not worth downloading.
Yeah, because the zombies is
'Cause
definitely the only thing I think
Still
made it.
sure.
The maps were decent, but they weren't anything special. Zombies is where it's at for this one.
And you can definitely, like any other game, you can definitely tell the hardcore players. Because, man, there's one dude that was just kicking our butt on the normal maps like no tomorrow.
Yeah.
Just every time he turned a corner, bam! I had to put my controller down, said, "White guy needs some chocolate."
Yeah, we do. All right, so as we were mentioning earlier, Steve-O has made his pre-order. He's got his Xbox One Day 1 edition ready. And
Sir.
weren't you saying this is the first time you've pre-ordered a console before launch?
I believe so. Yeah. I think this is the only one. I've always been really skeptical and shy and stuff. I even called you up once, and I was like, I was actually getting mine. I'm actually getting mine from Target online. And I'd asked T, I was just like, "Do you think I should get that 2-year?" And P's all like, "Nah, man. I think it's got a factory warranty of a year. Anything happens, send the thing back. Call it a day."
Save yourself some dough.
So that's what I did, and that actually saved me some money to where I could buy the 2 games, which is Dead Rising 3 and Ryse, Sons of Rome. I also bought, they had like some sort of a deal with the, was it the membership or something like that?
The Day 1 Gold membership?
The Day 1 Gold membership. I think I also picked that up too.
Yeah. Which comes with the Shadow Jago character, Killer Instinct.
I think that's what I did. I'm not quite sure. I remember I bought like 3 things from there. But regardless, I'm getting one. It's going to be awesome. And if there's any donations out there for awesome TVs, because I'm still running at 720,
720p.
I can't be playing no Xbox One on 720. That's definitely so. I'm gonna have to start saving up so I can get me a decent looking screen so I can enjoy the full effect.
Time to upgrade.
Yep. So, but I'm looking forward to it. The process was very easy.
It's always easy
Granted,
to
I
spend
won't.
money.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, it's gonna kind of bite the big ones because I'm not gonna be in the line with like P and everybody else at like
that's true.
GameStop, but it'll be at my door, so I guess I could be lazy and just be like, oh look, it's here. And if they don't ship it, like Amazon does, then I'm definitely gonna be a little bit on the teed side. So
hopefully they do it like Amazon does. But there it is. All right, and then J Ray reviewed Madden 25.
I did, and if you want to read my full review, you can. It's on the website.
How is it?
It's Madden.
football.
Yeah, it's Madden.
There are some actual substantial improvements this year that make the game worth buying.
There are. There's a precision button now where you can press to move, more precisely and enhance your moves. You can import your draft classes from NCAA, which is something that you couldn't do last year. That really upset me.
Wow.
Now you can be in. Now there's Connected Careers got turned into Connected Franchise. Just a whole bunch of improvements. Ultimate Team's there, all the standard modes. I'd probably say I'd have to go with like 4.5 on it.
For sure. All right. Well, it's been a great show. As always, check out those apps. Check us out on Twitter at Frag Tag Radio and on the website at fragtagradio.com. And we will catch y'all on the flip side.
Send us a voicemail or a text at 304.
And on that new YouTube, come
FTR.
subscribe.
304 Talk FTR.
We need you.
Frag Tag Radio.